Hello everyone and welcome back to Speak Like a Leader. Today we're continuing our journey towards writing flawless business emails by focusing on a second essential element, which is prepositions. You may recall in our last lesson that while a few grammar mistakes might slip by unnoticed in verbal communication, written English tells a completely different story. In emails, reports, and presentations, those small grammar mistakes can really stick out. They can affect how your message is received and how your professionalism is perceived. After all, your emails could end up in front of a wide audience, people who will read them carefully and form opinions about your English skills. In this series, we're diving into common business writing mistakes that my students often face. In lesson number 1, we tackled the correct use of articles. And today, we'll turn our attention to prepositions because using the wrong preposition in an email sentence can make your email seem rushed and sloppy. Since there are so many uses of prepositions and very few rules to follow, I will try to split them up into distinct categories to help you remember them better. So let's dive in. So the big question here is, which prepositions should I be using in my business emails? There are so many prepositions out there like in, on, at, for, from, to, over, through. Okay, so I'm going to try to help you make sense of all of these. We're going to start with prepositions that indicate some kind of relationship, a relationship with a time, a place, or a direction. Let's jump into one by one. Prepositions related to time. Let's look at some examples. I have a meeting at 2 p.m. So whenever you have a specific time frame, use the preposition at. The deadline for the project is on Friday. We will discuss the results when? During the next meeting. I am available after lunch. The presentation starts before noon. So use the right prepositions to indicate exactly what time frame you're interested in communicating. Prepositions related to place. So different locations that we want to communicate in our email. For example, where are the files? The files are in the folder. The meeting room is located on the 3rd floor. You can find the report in your inbox. The team is sitting at the conference table. The documents were stored in the cloud. So when you're at a specific location, use the preposition at. When you want people to look into something, use the preposition in. And when something is standing on a table or on a specific floor, use the preposition on. And lastly, let's look at prepositions related to a sense of direction. And also take note of the verbs that we use in these sentences. Please send the report to the manager. Send it somewhere. Where? To the manager. Submit your proposal to the review committee. We need to deliver the package to the client. She handed the project details over to her supervisor. Can you forward the email to the entire team? So when we want to relate direction, we use the preposition to. Now let's move on to a different category of prepositions that we use after specific verbs, nouns, or adjectives. These are some very common verbs that we use in our business emails, so we have to be sure that we're using the right preposition after these verbs. I need to look into this matter. To look into means to investigate, to analyze. She has to focus on the project. They are committed to meeting deadlines. We apologize for the delay in delivery, and he succeeded in securing the contract. Now, unfortunately, these are some prepositions that you will have to learn off by heart because there's no specific rule behind them to help you remember them. But we use them so often that it's really important for you to get them right. Let's move on to prepositions that we use after some very common adjectives in our emails. He is interested in the new marketing strategy. They are committed to improving customer service. She's aware of the recent changes in policy. I am excited about the upcoming conference. He is good at financial analysis. So whenever you're showing emotions of excitement, of fear, you can use the preposition about. And when you want to suggest that somebody is good or bad, at is the preposition you would use. And lastly, let's look at prepositions that follow very common nouns. Look at these examples. The subject of the email was unclear to the recipient. I'm still waiting for a response to my previous email. We received an invitation to a meeting via email. His reaction to the email was unexpectedly positive. The content of the email needs to be revised before sending. Feel free to actually copy and paste these specific expressions and sentences into your emails. Now, let's take a look at some further common expressions that we use in emails that, again, you can copy in your own emails for work. At, the meeting is at the office. On, the report is on the desk. In, we are in a strong position to negotiate. For, this proposal is for your consideration. With, I will meet with the client tomorrow. How many of these prepositions would you get right? You should also take a look at these phrases that we use for clarity. The report was submitted by the team on Friday. The budget was approved for the upcoming quarter. The product launch is scheduled for next month. The feedback from the clients was positive. The training session will be held in the main conference room. Would you get all these correct? Now, of course, all my students make some mistakes here and there. Let's take a look at some common mistakes in your emails that you should try avoiding. So the sentence which is wrong is highlighted in red, and then we have the correction. I will respond your email should become I will respond to your email. She's good in organizing events. We said that good is always followed by the preposition at. She's good at organizing events. We are looking forward to meet you. Careful of the word meet. We are looking forward to meeting you because verbs after prepositions always are written with ing. He's responsible to handle the project. He's responsible for handling, ing, the project. They discussed about the new policy should become they discussed the new policy without the preposition about. How about we take a look at some practical tips that you can use in your emails. Tip number 1, keep it simple. Avoid overcomplicating your sentences with too many prepositions. Number 2, review. Regularly review your writing to focus on correct preposition usage. Number 3, practice. Use exercises to practice prepositions in various contexts, and we will be doing an exercise right after this slide. Read business materials to look into common prepositional phrases. And ask. If you are unsure, don't hesitate to ask a colleague for feedback on your usage. Let's move on to an exercise to practice all the rules and the different prepositions that we saw so far. Number 1, please send the proposal the marketing team. So there's a missing preposition here. Who am I going to send this proposal to? This relates a sense of direction. to the marketing team. Please send the proposal to the marketing team. Number 2, we will discuss our strategy the next meeting. At. We will discuss our strategy at the next meeting because at specifies the time or occasion of the discussion. Let's move on to number 3. I'm looking forward our collaboration on this project. Looking forward. What's the preposition that follows this? To. Very good. I'm looking forward to our collaboration. Number 4. She is responsible overseeing the budget. Anybody remember what preposition follows the word responsible? Responsible for, because for indicates the responsibility regarding the budget. Number 5, the feedback the client has been overwhelmingly positive. The feedback, we are trying to look for the source of the feedback. The feedback from the clients has been overwhelmingly positive. Moving on to number 6, let's schedule a follow-up meeting next week. You could actually leave this sentence without a preposition, but if you like, you can also use for. Let's schedule a follow-up meeting for next week. Number 7, he's committed delivering results on time. Do you remember the preposition that follows the word committed? Committed to delivering results. Very good. Number 8, I will get back you with an update shortly. I will get back to you with an update. To indicates the recipient of the communication. Number 9, the conference will take place where? The downtown convention center. What's a preposition we use for location? At. Very good. The conference will take place at the downtown convention center. And number 10, the report is due Friday. Who remembers what preposition we use for days of the week? On. The report is due on Friday. Very good. And there you have it. Mastering prepositions is crucial for clear and professional business communication. With practice, you will be able to enhance the quality of your emails and ensure your messages are conveyed accurately. Don't forget to complete the exercises we covered today to reinforce your understanding. And if you found today's lesson helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe to watch lesson number 3 of this series on how to get your tenses correct when writing business emails. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next lesson.